Some people buy bigger houses when they become wealthy. Others buy privacy. A few buy views. But the rarest kind of wealth buys something else entirely. Distance. Distance from traffic. Distance from neighbors. Distance from noise, deadlines, and a world that constantly demands your attention. And when distance becomes absolute, you get something extraordinary. An island. Not a resort island. Not a vacation island. A private island built around a single idea. Freedom. Because at the highest level of wealth, luxury isn't about gold finishes or marble floors anymore. It's about control. Control over your time. Control over your environment. Control over who enters your world, and who never even knows it exists. Now imagine a home designed for exactly that level of life. A residence where the main house stands like a modern fortress of glass and stone, positioned at the highest point of the island. Below it, a series of guest villas hidden between tropical trees. A private yacht dock stretching into deep blue water. And no roads leading here. Only the ocean. This is the private island legacy home. Not just a residence. A personal territory. A place designed for someone who no longer needs to participate in the world every day, because they built a world of their own. From the air, the island looks almost untouched. A ring of white sand. Dense tropical forest. Turquoise water surrounding it like liquid glass. But as the drone descends, subtle geometry begins to appear through the canopy. Clean architectural lines. Dark stone pathways. Large glass surfaces reflecting the horizon. The house was designed to feel invisible from a distance, blending into the island rather than dominating it. Because true wealth rarely needs to prove itself. The main residence sits on a natural ridge overlooking the open ocean. Not for status. For perspective. When you stand here, the horizon stretches endlessly in front of you. No buildings interrupt it. No city lights dilute the night sky. Just water. And silence. Architecturally, the home follows a philosophy of horizontal power. Instead of building tall towers, the structure spreads outward across the land, creating a series of interconnected spaces that open directly to nature. Large floating roofs. Massive glass walls. Natural stone floors that extend seamlessly from interior to exterior. At certain angles, it becomes difficult to tell where the house ends and the island begins. The living pavilion is the heart of the home. A 120-foot open space framed by floor-to-ceiling glass panels that slide away completely. When they're open, the ocean breeze moves freely through the entire structure. No barriers. No separation. Just the rhythm of waves somewhere below the cliffs. At the center of the room sits a long dining table carved from a single slab of rare hardwood, 20 feet long. Built for gatherings that don't need to end early. Because here, time behaves differently. Morning begins with the sound of water touching the rocks below. Sunlight slowly moves across the stone floors. And instead of alarms or traffic, the first thing you see every day is the horizon. The master suite occupies its own wing of the house. Not just a bedroom. An entire private sanctuary. Glass walls open to a personal infinity pool that seems to disappear directly into the ocean. A terrace designed for sunrise. A quiet office overlooking the sea, where decisions worth hundreds of millions can be made in complete silence. And behind it all, a walk-in wardrobe that feels closer to a luxury boutique than a closet. Because even on a private island, presence still matters. But the true genius of the property isn't just the main house. It's how the entire island becomes part of the architecture. Paths carved through the forest lead to smaller structures hidden between palm trees and volcanic rock. These are the guest villas. Each one positioned far enough away to create complete privacy. Because when people visit an island like this, they're not just coming for a weekend. They're entering a different world. and that world was designed to host them without ever disturbing the calm at its center. But the island's most powerful feature isn't located on the cliffs. It sits quietly at the water's edge. A private dock extending into deep water. Large enough for a superyacht. Because for the owner of a place like this, arrival is never ordinary. Sometimes it comes from the sky. Sometimes it comes across the ocean. And when the yacht slowly approaches the island at sunset, the architecture reveals itself piece by piece. First the dock, then the villas between the trees. Finally the main house above the cliffs, glowing softly as the lights come alive. In that moment, the meaning of wealth becomes very clear. It isn't about how much you own. It's about how free your life can become. And this island was designed to represent the ultimate version of that freedom. But the story of this place goes much deeper than architecture. Because this isn't just a private escape. It's a legacy property. A home designed to exist long after the original owner is gone. A place where future generations will return again and again. Not just because it's beautiful, but because it represents something powerful. The moment when success stopped being about survival and started becoming about freedom. And in the next chapter, the island reveals the rest of its secrets. Because beyond the main residence, hidden between the jungle paths and coastal cliffs, is an entire ecosystem of luxury designed for life at the highest level. A property like this isn't designed as a single house. It's designed as a living system. Every path, every structure, every hidden corner of the island serves a purpose in the rhythm of life here. Because when you own an entire island, architecture stops being about rooms. It becomes about experiences. From the main residence, a stone pathway disappears into the tropical forest. Not a perfectly polished resort path. Something more natural. Dark volcanic slabs placed between moss and sand, following the natural slope of the land. Subtle lighting hidden along the edges turns the walkway into a glowing trail after sunset. This path leads to the second layer of the island. The guest villas. There are 5 of them in total, scattered across the property like private retreats. Each villa faces a different direction. One toward the sunrise. Another toward the open ocean. One positioned beside a hidden lagoon where the water remains calm even during heavy winds. And the largest villa, reserved for family elders or closest partners, sits on a small elevated plateau with a panoramic view of both sides of the island. Privacy is the design principle here. Every guest can wake up feeling like they're alone on their own island. But they're only a short walk away from the main residence when the day's gatherings begin. Architecturally, the villas mirror the philosophy of the main house. Low-profile structures. Natural stone foundations. Warm teak wood ceilings. Glass walls that slide open to private pools overlooking the ocean. No curtains needed. Because there are no neighbors. Inside each villa, the interiors are intentionally minimal. Not empty. Intentional. Soft linen furniture, neutral colors, and materials that age beautifully over time. These are spaces meant to host conversations that last hours. Business partners discussing ventures that will shape industries. Friends celebrating victories that took decades to build. Family members reconnecting across generations. Because the purpose of a legacy property isn't just isolation. It's connection. But connection happens best when everyone has their own space to retreat afterward. Further down the island, the forest opens to something unexpected. A glass pavilion built directly beside the water. This is the island's wellness sanctuary. A space designed for recovery, clarity, and mental reset. Inside, a long indoor lap pool reflects the sunlight passing through the glass ceiling. To one side, a quiet meditation deck extends over the water, supported by slender columns that almost disappear beneath the surface. Early in the morning, this area becomes one of the most peaceful places on the island. The ocean is still. The air is warm. And the only sound is the slow rhythm of waves touching the shore. Next to the pavilion sits a fully equipped fitness studio. But unlike typical luxury gyms, this one opens directly to the outdoors. The entire front wall lifts upward, transforming the room into an open-air training deck. Here, workouts happen with ocean wind and endless views rather than mirrors and artificial lighting. Because on an island like this, health isn't just a routine. It's part of the environment. But the island still holds its most dramatic feature further down the coast. A curved bay where the water turns from turquoise to deep sapphire. This is where the private yacht dock lives. Not a simple wooden pier. A full marina structure carved carefully into the natural rock formation. The dock extends far enough into deep water to accommodate a 100-meter superyacht. Large yachts can approach without the need for smaller tender boats, which means arrival feels cinematic every single time. As the yacht moves closer, the island slowly reveals its architecture. First the long dock, then the villas hidden between the trees, then the glass reflections of the main house above the cliffs. Guests stepping off the yacht are greeted by a shaded arrival pavilion built from stone and dark wood. No loud reception area. No crowds. Just a quiet welcome and the sound of waves moving beneath the dock. From there, electric carts follow a discreet path through the island, delivering guests to their villas without disturbing the natural landscape. But something else makes this island different from most private estates. Everything here is designed for independence. Beneath the island's surface lies an entire infrastructure network. Solar fields positioned on the far side of the island power the entire property. Desalination systems quietly convert ocean water into fresh water. Hidden underground storage facilities ensure the island can operate for months without outside supply deliveries. Because true freedom requires resilience. The owner of a place like this doesn't want dependency. They want sovereignty. And this island functions almost like a self-sustaining micronation. Food is grown in hidden hydroponic gardens tucked behind the forest line. Fresh seafood arrives daily from the surrounding waters. And a small but elite staff operates the island with near invisible precision. Guests rarely see the machinery that keeps everything running. They simply experience the result. Effortless comfort, complete privacy, and a lifestyle that feels far removed from the stress of the outside world. But despite all this luxury, the most powerful moments on this island are surprisingly simple. Walking barefoot along the beach at night, watching the stars without city lights, hearing laughter from the main house terrace during a long dinner with family and friends. These are the moments the architecture was designed to protect. Because a property like this isn't just about wealth. It's about preserving a certain way of living. A way of living that very few people on Earth will ever experience. And yet, the island still holds one final layer. A purpose beyond luxury. Because places like this are rarely built for just one lifetime. They're built for something much bigger. In the final chapter, the island reveals its true role. Not just as a home, but as a symbol of legacy. Most luxury homes are built for the present. They reflect success in the moment. A milestone. A reward. But legacy homes are different. They're built with time in mind. The kind of time measured in generations. Because when someone decides to build a private island estate like this, they're not just thinking about where they'll live next year. They're thinking about where their family will gather 50 years from now. Where children will grow up running along the same beaches. Where future generations will remember the place their story began. And that changes how everything is designed. The materials of the island weren't chosen for trend or decoration. They were chosen for endurance. Volcanic stone that can withstand decades of ocean wind. Teak wood that slowly deepens in color as the years pass. Marine-grade glass engineered to survive powerful storms without losing its clarity. This isn't architecture built to impress for a few seasons. It's architecture built to age. And the truth is, some of the most beautiful buildings in the world didn't become iconic when they were first completed. They became iconic because time gave them character. Because decades of life left subtle marks on the walls, the floors, and the memories inside them. The private island legacy home follows that same philosophy. In 20 years, the trees surrounding the villas will grow taller. In 30 years, the stone pathways will soften under thousands of footsteps. In 40 years, family photos taken on the terraces will become part of the house itself. Because architecture like this isn't static. It evolves with the people who live there. And perhaps the most important place on the island reflects exactly that idea. At the far end of the main house, beyond the infinity pool and overlooking the widest stretch of ocean, sits a long outdoor terrace. Not extravagant. Not overly designed. Just a wide platform of stone facing the horizon. This is where the family gathers at sunset. Not for events. Not for celebrations. Just for the quiet ritual that slowly becomes tradition. Evenings begin with the sky turning gold over the water. Conversations start casually. Someone opens a bottle of wine. Children run along the edges of the terrace while older generations sit in low chairs watching the light fade. These small moments accumulate over years. And eventually they become something much larger than the house itself. They become memory. And that's the real reason estates like this exist. Because wealth alone can build incredible architecture. But wealth combined with vision can build places that shape family history. The island becomes a reference point in time. A place where major decisions were made. Where partnerships were formed. Where ideas that changed industries were discussed late into the night. But also where birthdays happened. Where grandchildren learned to swim in the quiet lagoon. Where 3 generations sat together watching the same sunset. That's the difference between luxury and legacy. Luxury impresses. Legacy lasts. And eventually, decades from now, the original owner may no longer be walking these paths. But the island will still be here. The villas will still welcome new visitors. The yacht dock will still receive arrivals across the water. The terrace will still face the horizon exactly the same way. And someone else from the family will stand in the same place, looking out at the same ocean, realizing something powerful. That the greatest form of wealth isn't measured by what you spend. It's measured by what you leave behind. A property like this isn't simply owned. It's entrusted. Entrusted to the next generation. And the next one after that. Because the ultimate symbol of freedom isn't escaping the world. It's building something strong enough to outlive you. A place where success transforms into continuity. Where achievement becomes heritage. Where wealth becomes time. And on this island, surrounded by endless ocean and open sky, that idea finally becomes real.